This guy is so fucking funny. He's been at New York Comedy Festival. We love him. You're going to love him. Everybody give it up right now for Kendall Farrell!
How are you guys? Keep it going for Lizzy. All right, I went to my high school reunion this summer. Has anybody else here ever made a mistake? I only went to my reunion because I wanted to see who else is gay now. And I'll tell you this, it is never who you hope it's gonna be. Not even one guy from the football team. What a waste of a rental car, right? Never who you want it to be, but it's gotta be somebody, right? So it's everyone from the Frisbee team. Not ideal. Sometimes it's who you most suspect. Are there any other gay people here? Oh, wow, okay, I feel safe again. Oh, that's nice. I wasn't out when I was in high school, so I used to try to convince the other boys that I totally had crushes on hot girls, just like everyone else. But then, as a gay teen, I would often miss the mark on what a hot girl was. You know, there'd be a group of boys in the locker room, and one of them would be like, "Fuck, dude, Megan Fox is so hot." And then I would try to participate. I'd chime in yeah. You know who I think is hot? Madonna. 50-year-old mother of 3. I think that's what gets all us red-blooded bros going. Any of you other boys happen to see bona fide sex symbol Whoopi Goldberg in Sister Act? You just know she was a Hellcat under those robes, maybe. It'd always take me 1,000 guesses. I'd be like, Sandra Bullock in Miss Congeniality. And they'd be like, you're going to be asked to leave the locker room really soon. And then I'd be like, Beyonce? And they'd be like, you can come back. You're getting closer. And then I'd be like, Rihanna? And they were like, we knew it was worth waiting for you to get there eventually. I know, yeah. Straight men love Rihanna, and I actually had to learn that on a Snapple cap. So that Snapple got me through high school, though. Does anybody here feel like they have a good gaydar? That's gay radar if you're stupid. Okay, yeah. Are you straight or gay or? Me? Yes. You're gay. Okay, yeah. Honestly, I feel like gay people generally have a worse gaydar than straight people. Have you guys noticed that? I feel like it's because straight people have been practicing since middle school to get it right. My brother is straight. He has a much better gaydar than I do. My cousin brought her girlfriend around to Thanksgiving last year, and I was blindsided. I was like, holy shit, can't believe Anna's fucking gay too. And my brother was just like, why? I can believe it. She's been in the Coast Guard for 6 years. I missed that. Of course, she loves pussy. It's salty like the seas that she loves. Oh, now I wish I had changed her name more, honestly, while we're filming this. We'll just dub in Angela or something. Have you guys been watching the Olympics? Okay, I feel like that's enough for me to continue. Go USA, right? I was reading an article's headline that was in the form of a tweet. I don't know if anybody else here is into literature like that. But I read this tweet, and it said that in the next Winter Olympics, they're going to have their first same-sex figure skating pair. That's pretty exciting, right? Yeah, we can clap for that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Finally, there's going to be a place for gay people within the world of competitive ice dancing. Isn't it amazing? They were even able to find 2 gay figure skaters and pair them up. I don't know about you guys, but I think now that they're letting the dudes pair up, I think this might be the end of boy-girl figure skating. I don't think there's a lot of lesbians in figure skating. Like, they're too busy with shot put and rugby, you know? Why would they? Neither. But I feel like there's probably like 2 heterosexual men in all of the figure skating world, and I want to meet them. Like, don't you? Want to get to know the kind of guy who like finishes ice dancing and then takes off a skin-tight leotard and just wipes his brow like, woo! Now it's time to go get some pussy. I'm terrified of him, but I do want to hang out. I think it's very funny when straight men complain about having to watch women's sports. Have you guys heard this? People, like straight guys complaining about that? I think it's so funny because I also prefer watching men's sports. And it's because I'm fucking gay, bro. You know? Like, that's how you sound when you're like, get Taylor Swift off the screen and bring back those big sweaty beefcakes. You know? Like, whenever straight guys try to explain to me why they prefer watching men's sports, it always just feels like they're trying to sell me on the gay lifestyle. Even though I don't want to reveal too much, but I'm pretty balls deep in the gay lifestyle already. Like, I don't need a sales pitch at this point. But they're always just like, yeah, I like them better. They're just so much bigger and stronger than women. And I'm like, yeah, I think that's hot too. Like, what are we talking about? They just play at such a higher level, and I'm like, why are you sweating right now? This doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. In the Olympics this year, trans women in sports was like a huge topic. I don't know, does anybody else here come from a conservative family? Look at those sad, defeated woos. All right, well, if you haven't come from a conservative family, I guess there's all different kinds of privilege, aren't there? Brooklyn. Whenever I go home to visit family, there's always Fox News blaring, and there's always somebody on there who's like, trans women should be banished from all sports forever. I don't think they should even be able to run in the park if they're faster than I am. If it makes me feel bad, it should be illegal. And it's just so funny to me because their argument is that if we let trans women compete, there's going to be all these men out there who are going to transition to women so that they can win at sports. And I don't know if anybody in this room is thinking about doing that. But if you're planning to transition to a woman for all the money, power and fame that comes along with women's sports, I have some heartbreaking news for you. And it's that you'll make more money as a man in 5th place. So you should probably, maybe the implants aren't worth it, ultimately. All right, does anybody else here have a coworker who they hate? Okay, well, we're not all from such happy workplaces, I guess. Okay, I have a coworker, just hear me out. I don't like her because she keeps bringing up the fact that she's a sapiosexual. Do you guys know what that is? All right, I begged her not to tell me what it was. But we're here now. And it turns out that it's somebody who claims to be attracted to intelligence in others. I know. Can you think of anything grosser, right? That's disgusting. I feel like what is so foul about that to me is that, clearly what she's saying is, I need to be with a fellow genius. And this bitch works for the same dog walking company that I do, so I'm not really sure what possible genius she could be referring to. She's like, I need to be with somebody who can understand my brilliance. And I'm like, really? There's a hole in that bag of shit that you're holding. I don't know if you caught that. It's all over your hands. I just feel like nobody who's actually smart would ever go around saying that, right? Smart people are happy to just be the smarter person. I mean, think about the great minds of our time. Einstein wasn't going around saying oh, I need to be with another particle physicist. Do you guys want to know why? Albert Einstein was happy to just fuck his hot cousin in peace. They had a long and beautiful marriage. Did you guys know that? Albert Einstein married his first cousin. So he was like splitting atoms during the day and then cousin fucking the night away. What a dichotomy there, you know? All right, I feel like I'm losing you guys a little bit. I want you to know that this joke is about halfway over. So if you're not on board, get on board, all right? Charles Darwin. Another genius, right? He wasn't going around saying like, oh, I need to be another expert on evolution. Do you guys want to know why? He was also fucking his cousin. Yeah, they had 10 kids together. I know, and it was all while he was studying reproductive evolution. You know, like, I wonder if he got to the end of his studies and he was just like, oh no, what have I done? Just looking at his like sea of three-eyed children, like, oh shit! I should have finished reading before I fucked my cousin so many times. Edgar Allan Poe! Literary genius, right? He wasn't going around saying like, oh, I need to be another brilliant writer. Do you guys want to know why? He was also fucking his cousin, yeah, absolutely. Basically what I'm saying is if you're my coworker and you want me to think you're smart, don't waste your time with the sapiosexual thing, you know, just get to it and tell me you're fucking your cousin. Is anybody here single? Any? Okay, are there any like single women here? I'm not asking for me, but just tell me if you are. Are you guys on the apps? No. No? Okay, I bet I know why. My friend is a straight woman, brave of me. I'm an ally, you guys. And she was showing me her matches the other day, and I noticed that like half of her Hinge matches had put in their bio like, tall. If it matters. Have you guys seen this? Yeah. Why the fuck would it not matter? Right? Like, can you even imagine if a woman tried to get away with that kind of bullshit? So I took her phone and I put in her bio, giant fucking titties if that matters. You could bounce a quarter off this ass. If that's something you even care about. No gag reflex if you're shallow. She hasn't gotten a single match. All right, that's it for me. Have a good night, you guys.
Give it up for Kendall Farrell, everybody. We practiced this before. You guys know what to do. Are you ready for your next comedian? Oh my God, he's so fucking funny. He's one of my absolute favorites. Everybody give it up for Gastor Almonte.
Before I begin, does anyone here work in the judicial system? Okay, cool. All right. That's good. I am currently on jury duty. I'm not supposed to talk about it, but that's all we're gonna talk about, okay? Been dying to get this off my chest, okay? I was so honest with the judge, too. I told him, I was like, yo, listen, I'm a stand-up comic. My whole job is to go out at night and talk about my day. But they're so hard up for jurors that he was like, oh, so you free from 9 to 5, you know? And now I'm on a jury, you know? And they ask you questions to try to, like, filter you out. So they were like, hey, listen, this is a murder case, you know, it's a felony. Are you okay listening to details about a murder for 2 weeks? And I was like, listen, I'm from New York. I wanted to kill people every day, okay? You know, by the same token, 30-some odd years, I haven't done it yet. So I get the other side, you know? Perspective. And then he was like, okay, so we meet Monday through Friday. Are you free to do that? And I was like, actually, I got a show on Friday in Rhode Island. And I thought that was gonna knock me out the running. But he just took a note. He sent me out the room, and then when they brought us all in, he was like, ladies and gentlemen, you are officially members of the jury. We'll be meeting Monday through Thursday because some of you have other obligations. This dude is on trial for murder, and they got delayed a week so I can entertain 70 people in Providence? That's too much power, you know? I started listening to the case. He's wild guilty, by the way. Wild guilty. We never seen this guy again. He is so gone. Forever. I'm listening to the case, and like, the more I hear, the more I realize I gave this dude a free weekend, you know? This could have been wrapped up on Friday. I gave him more time to get his affairs in order, you know? It was so bad that, like, the jury couldn't, like, hide how they felt about it, you know? Like, he brought out a character witness, and every time she spoke, she was lying so much that the juror next to me would just be like, You know? It's not a good sign for you when, like, the jury is just tapping each other during your trial. Like, yo, you hearing that shit? I turned 40 recently. You don't feel that way. That's not honest, you know? After 40, birthdays are no longer a celebration. They're more like general wellness checks. It's just an excuse for your friends to get together and be like, yo, what's that on your skin? That looks contagious. You seen somebody? I know a guy. It's the first time I'm noticing the passage of time. Like, I have 2 teenage kids, and they don't need me. Like, that's the end of that sentence, actually. They don't need me. Like, my niece, she's 4 years old. She slept over recently, and at the end of the night, I watched my wife get her ready to take her shower, and I realized that I haven't had to help my kids take a shower in over a decade. Like, I miss that time to connect with them, to bond with them, you know, one-on-one with them, answer all their questions. It was beautiful. I started to cry, and when my wife came out, I wasn't emotionally ready to explain myself. So she was like, what's wrong? And I was like, I don't see my kids naked no more. We gotta do something about this. She was like, never say that out loud again. My son overheard the convo, and he was like, Dad, I don't remember you helping me take showers. And I was like, that's because I stopped at the appropriate time, son. If you had memories of me helping you in the shower, this conversation takes place in a different room, you know? Like, there'd still be other people there, it's just you would call them witnesses, you know? For your protection. I found out I was diabetic. Most people find out by taking a test. I was a little more adventurous, you know? I drank 3 half gallons of Tropicana orange juice. I started hallucinating, I passed out. Incredible night, yo. You should have been there, it was a party. My wife told me the last coherent statement I made was, Shorty, I'm sorry I had a rough game on Sunday, but me and the rest of the O-line, we're gonna come through for Daniel Jones next week. I promise you, you know? If anyone confused, I don't play for the New York Giants, okay? What bothered me, even in my diabetic dreams, I could have played for anybody. Why play for a 6-10 team, you know? I had all the options, history at my disposal, you know? I got to the hospital, they checked my glucose levels. For a healthy male, it's between 75 and 100. When you eat, it can spike to like 140. When I got there, my blood sugar was at 660. Every day for a week, this young doctor came in the room and yelled at me. He was like, yo, your blood sugar was 660, you should have died. Like, he was gonna shock me into dropping donuts, you know? I found out on the last day, he wasn't a full doctor yet. He was a medical student, you know? So he wasn't trying to treat me. He was just impressed with my work, you know? He's like, yo, I've read all the books. Nobody's gotten to 660 before. Show your progress, you know? I say that to say that I eat oatmeal now. Nobody eats oatmeal by choice, okay? Eating oatmeal happens to you. It's led to my most controversial opinion as a stand-up comedian, okay? Nobody loves oatmeal, and anyone who says they love oatmeal is lying to you. Don't trust them as people, okay? We'll get to you. Oatmeal is a means to an end. It's a last resort. Oatmeal is proof that there's a difference between food and sustenance. Oatmeal is made for two people in this world. One, people who can't chew, you know, so like elderly, you know, you lost a teeth, babies, I get it. You have a need, you know. Two, it's made for sociopaths on a budget, you know. People that want a six-pack, you can't afford a gym membership, oatmeal is for you. What I'm saying is I'm not a fan of oatmeal. I don't know if that's coming across. You know? And this is the point in my spiel where the oatmeal eaters in the room, and I know you here, I can feel you, okay? You could always tell who they are. They sit a little too straight, their posture's weird, it's the fiber, okay? You gotta excuse them, you know, they can't sit any other way. All the oatmeal eaters want to tell me the same thing. They're like, Gastor, it's not that you don't like oatmeal, it's that you don't know how to make oatmeal. Then they proceed to share the shittiest recipes in the world. Have you tried almond milk? Cinnamon? Granola crumbs? Strawberry slices? Coconut flakes? They don't realize they're proving my point. You don't like oatmeal, you like those things. You know what's better than oatmeal with peanut butter? Peanut butter. It's fantastic. Why are we ruining all of these great foods? But all the oatmeal eaters, they're cocky people. They still think they right. Every oatmeal eater in here still thinks it's a good idea to eat oatmeal. But I will prove to you that eating oatmeal is trash. Who here eats oatmeal? Raise your hands. Okay. Who else? We got a lot of bad decision makers here tonight. Okay. All right, it's the end of my set, so do me a favor. If you eat oatmeal, I want you to do something for me. And everyone else, you saw who raised their hands. Hold them accountable, okay? If you eat oatmeal, I want you to close your eyes right now, okay? And picture yourself eating oatmeal. I want you to put yourself in the room that you most often do it in, the time of day. Really be in that moment, really be in that environment. Go there, picture it, be there. Wherever you are right now, I promise you, you're by yourself. You eat that shit in shame like it's a secret. The lights are off, right? You want nobody to know. When your friends come over, do you offer them oatmeal? No. Because you want them to come back, right? Every major breakfast food is pivoted to brunch, but one, oatmeal. Because there's no amount of endless mimosas to justify $20 for that shit. It's trash. You know what I've never heard in my life? I just got promoted. After work, oatmeal on me. It's ludicrous. You'd have no friends. Make better decisions, people. Thank you so much. Hope you guys had a good time.
One more time for Gastor Almonte, everybody. You guys know the drill by now. We're going to keep this show moving. Are you ready for your next comedian? She's absolutely hilarious. She's a writer for Cards Against Humanity. Everybody give it up for Carly Ballerini.
Hello. Hi, everybody. So I'm not working for them anymore, but I just got, sorry, but I just got a new job, so that's pretty good. Thank you. It's like at a startup. You guys, like, I've never worked at a startup before, and this is what I feel. So it's like two guys had an idea, and then they hired like some smarty pants guys, and those are qualified, and then like they hired like some creative people and they're like kind of qualified, and then everybody else is their nephew. I was being onboarded by like a baby boy the other day. I'm not kidding. He had like a little tie and it was like over Zoom, so I was like proud of him. I don't know. I was like, all right. And he was talking really fast, like just super fast. And I was like, whatever this is, I'll get it later. But I was like, all right. And then all of a sudden he stopped abruptly and he was like, okay, all right, so this is the part where we negotiate your salary now. Which is not how you do that. I was like, okay, what do you want to negotiate? And he was like, all right, you could make between 3,000 and 4,000. What do you want to make? And I was like, I guess like 4,000, right? And he was like, okay, shit. Are you sure? And I was like, can you make more? And he was like, no, you can only make up to 4,000. And I was like, I guess I'll take that then. And he was like, oh no. He was like going back and forth, and I was like, hey man, what's wrong? Are you all right? And he was like, nothing, it's just I thought you were gonna say less. And I'm like, yeah, why did you think that? And he goes, because like, a lot of times like women will say 3,800. And I was like, buddy, you weren't supposed to say that to me. I'll take 5,100. Is anybody Gen Z here? You guys yeah. You guys are my favorite generation. I feel like everybody's like doing generational divide, and I don't care about that at all, but I do care about who's most charming. And Gen Z has it like on lock. Like in terms of secrets, the boomers like they were just like, I love my dad and my government. It's like, I don't care. And then Gen X, that they were just like depressed all the time. It's like, all right, buddy. Like, I don't know. I'm millennial. We're kind of charming. We put our whole asshole on the internet. That's like very charming. But Gen Z is my favorite because you'll tell like your secrets and everybody else. Like you'll be like, I have autism and my mom commits fraud. And it's just like greatest generation. I don't know. Tell me everything. So I feel like a lot of people, I'm going to try this with you because you seem nice. I feel like a lot of people are in therapy right now, and I'm against it. No, I'm not. I like it. It's just like everybody's like been in therapy for like 4 years, you know? And like, so they're like at that stage where they're starting to have revelations and they keep like, it's like listening to somebody's dreams. It's like, I know that you're like that. I've met your dad. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? So I feel like also they're using therapy terms wrong. Also, like, what is everybody right now? Like a gaslighting narcissist, right? Isn't that, yeah. Like, everybody's using that wrong. The other day, my friend came up to me and she was like, Carly, you'll never believe it. Craig is gaslighting me. And to me, gaslighting is like a big deal. It's like, you know, it happens over like a long period of time and you lose all sense of yourself. And also the gaslighter has to be smarter than the gaslightee. So I was like, Craig? I was like, oh, babe, like, tell me everything. Like, what happened? And she was like, okay, so like, I know he's sleeping with Tina. And I asked him about it and he said that he wasn't. And I was like, oh, that's just like bad lying, right? Gaslighting would be like, okay, like if she went up to Craig and she was like, you're sleeping with Tina. And then over the course of like months or years, Craig made her feel like she wasn't Italian. That's, you're right? I don't know. There are levels. Don't talk to me after the show. And you're probably like, why do you know? And I know just because like I've been in therapy for a very like my mom met my dad in a mental institution, and neither are doctors. And then my mom went to clown college, so they just dropped me off in therapy. She also like didn't tell us she was going to class. She didn't go like how people like pursue their dreams. She kind of went like how construction workers just get a job. So the way that I found out was one day I like came home from school and there was just like a full clown in my kitchen. But it was the back of her because she was doing the dishes in her whole outfit. So like I walked in and I was like, hello? And then she like turned around and was like, I graduated, so. I was like, from where? She was like, college. And I was like, I'm not going there. Now I do this. Good. Okay, so this part, I always like stall on this. Fucking, hey, you guys. You and me, cool. Anybody here also have a low libido? Yeah, me too. It's like cool. It's such a bummer. Everybody's like here to like sex, talking. Nope. So I have low libido, and like I went to my doctor about it, and like he's a guy, you know, and I was like, oh, he'll know. We've all seen those commercials, right, where it's just like, do you know a man who's soft? Get him a pill. You know, it's like an emergency. So I was like, okay, he'll know what to do, like for sure. So I went to him and I was like, hey man, I'm having like low libido. And he was like, yeah, for sure. That happens to women sometimes. And I was like, yeah, man, make it not happen to this woman. How about that? And he was like, oh, I would, but I don't know, your cycle and everything. Why don't you just give it like 6 months? And I was like, I could be dead in 6 months, dude. And he was like, don't worry, it's not dangerous. And I was like, I am dangerous. What are you talking? You're just gonna have me out on the streets without the will to come? What am I supposed to do for pleasure? Hit a guy with my car? Like, what are we doing? So I was mad, so I went to my friend, and I know he just got prescribed testosterone, and I was like, hey man, how'd you get the doctor to listen to you? And he was like, oh, it was so weird, like, I didn't even go in for that. I went in because, like, I get a little sleepy sometimes. And then my doctor was like, hey, man, are you satisfied with the amount that you're coming? And then I was like, I guess I could come more. And then he just gave me testosterone. And I was like, oh, this is why women drown their kids, right? Because, got it. I went to my other friend. She's like a older woman, and I was like, hey, I have like low libido, and she was like, if I'm being honest, like I haven't had libido for years, and I was like, oh my God, what are you doing about it? And she was like, I just took up painting, and she's like a good painter. So I was like, how much were you coming? But like also like I don't want to like learn trumpet, okay? I just want to come. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, good. I've been trying to have like a little bit of sex lately, like a little bit of like gay, well not gay, like communicative sex, I guess, which is gay or whatever. I just like want to have like I feel like I was having some like non-communicative sex for a while, which is like kind of straight. I didn't know it was a race. Do you know what I mean? Like if I knew that whoever comes first wins, like I would have been coming first. I started having sex early. Before I had sex, I was a lesbian, like sex, and then we did man sex. Okay. So the first time I remember, like, I had sex with this guy. He got done, and then he just rolled away. And I was like, come back. Excuse me, sir, we missed a spot. Because I was used to having turns, right? It's like your turn, my turn, your turn, our turn. And he was like, oh, sorry, babe. You're just so hot, I had to come. And I was like, yeah, first you have to come, and we all have to come. Get on back here. We have work to do. And then he told me he would get me back later. I was like, oh, we're not doing credits. This isn't layaway. And then he just like slapped my clit, and I was like so mad. I was like, you don't even know my middle name. You're just gonna whack it? That's crazy to do. But that's what I feel like keeps happening. It's like if you're not communicating, then everybody's just like doing a move, and then the other person is like dealing with your move. Okay, if you're like a move guy tonight, when you go home and you do your move, just be like, hey, do you like that? I feel like most people will be like, no. Okay, thank you guys. Have a good night.
Keep it going for Carly Ballerini, everybody! How you guys doing? You ready for your next comedian? Oh my God, he's so fucking funny. You guys are gonna love him. Give it up for my friend Mike Lebovitz.
That was overwhelming. Thank you. That was almost too much. Thanks. I think a few people clapped until I was within feet of the mic, and I haven't earned that. So, how about a nice round of that enthusiasm, that trademark enthusiasm for Lizzy, your host. Give it up for her. Keep that going for all the other comics you saw tonight. Keep that going for yourselves. Why not? You deserve it. Come on. That's all you got? Okay, all right. That's cool. Kind of medium self-esteem in this room. That's all right. I can work with that. I like them vulnerable. I think you guys are good. That's cool. No, you guys are a cool crowd, man. I don't know if it seems like you've been at this a while. I've been watching you guys this whole time, and you probably don't think about that. You come to a comedy show, right? You're here to watch us, and you're not thinking about the fact maybe that we're in the back of the room and we're watching you. And do you know what we're doing when we watch you? Anyone? We're judging you, that's right. I want you to know this whole time I've been judging you guys extremely favorably. I have been. I saw them, I was like, yes, good judgment. Positive judgment. Now, the other comics on this show, do you guys mind? They don't mind if I tell you. At one point or another, every other comic that you have seen or will see did come up to me and say, Mike, I don't know about these guys. They said that about you. They did. That was them. I told them, I don't know. I think they got what it takes because you guys are a very special crowd, and I dig it. I see what the fuck you're doing, and I'm into it, man. It's next level. Like any hack audience can sit down and fucking laugh at the jokes, like a bunch of fucking sheep, right? Oh, comedian tells a joke, audience laughs. Comedian tells a joke. But you guys come in, you sit down, and you're like, not necessarily. And that's fun. For us, we don't fall into your rhythms. We think you're gonna zig, you fucking zag. And that rocks, dude. You guys have a voice as an audience. That's what the industry's looking for. So, hell yeah, dude, keep it up. And I firmly believe one night I'm gonna turn on The Tonight Show. And the camera's gonna pan to the crowd, it's gonna be you guys. And I'll be like, fuck yeah, I saw them in the storage room of a bowling alley and they followed their dreams, so I just want you to know I do believe in you. So it's important work we're doing here. This is important work. Maybe you don't think so. Okay, I don't know why you think you came. Maybe it's like, oh, it's date night. Where can we not talk for 90 minutes or whatever, but let me tell you what the hell is happening in this bowling alley right now, okay? As a comedian, that's me, just to be fucking clear. Audience, that's you guys. We're coming together, and we're birthing laughter into the world, where previously it did not exist, thereby making the world a better place. So you might think of yourself as just some, freelance AI developer. You're part of the solution tonight, okay? And there's sacrifice involved in that. Like before I left to come here, dude, I was on my way out the door, right? That's just me. I'm no hero. That's how I leave my apartment. That's just how I roll. Maybe you're a window gal. I don't know your story. I'm a doorman, and I'm not a doorman. That's silly. I don't have a job, but I, you know what I mean, right? I leave through doors, right? So, anyway, I'm on my way out the door, and my son stops me, and he says to me, he goes, "Oh, Daddy, do you have a show tonight?" I know. Well, he didn't say that exactly. He said, "Mike, do you have a show tonight?" I said, "Yes, I do." And he was like, "Well, would you skip it? Because I want you to read me a story, tuck me in, put me to bed, have a relationship with me." And I get it. That hit me right here. I was like, "Buddy, I would love to, but there are 52 unemployed graphic designers in a bowling alley in Brooklyn, and they need to hear about Daddy's dick. So honestly, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe learn to read. Put yourself to bed. Stop asking for a fucking handout all the time. You're 4 years old. It's ridiculous." It turns out he's 6. But the point is... What's the point? The point is that this shit matters. So you guys ready to make the world a better place? What do you say? Let's do it together. We're gonna do what we can. We're doing our part. I'm gonna do what I can. I can't do anything about Gaza or Ukraine or the Supreme Court or the climate or that one sniper dude's aim. But for sure I can talk about my balls for 10 minutes. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do my absolute best for you. I'm gonna do That's right. I'm going to do the best that I can. I promise you that. I would do better than I can, but I've tried, and it turns out I can't. So I'm gonna do my best. I'm not at my best. To be clear, I'm gonna do my best from where I'm at. That's all I got. Full disclosure, you could. I don't know if you can tell them. We'll out of it up here. All right, here's what happened. I had an edible yesterday, so I think it is starting to kick in. Those are crazy, man. I think that's the wrong way to take a drug that makes you anxious anyway, right? Like, by wondering how much you just took. Like, they got a label on it, but you're like, oh, cool, 20 milligrams. Let's see what that means this time. You know, it's just, oh, cool, the drug that caused 4 of my last 5 panic attacks? Nice. You know what I think would be good? A mystery dose. How about that? We'll just walk into the gutter, try and guess why everyone's looking at me. What could go wrong? It's because I'm on stage. Okay. No, I don't know. I don't really like the legal weed. You guys like the legal weed? I don't like the legal weed. I like that the weed is legal, but I don't like the legal weed. You know what I mean? Because like weed was like, all right, legalize it, but like it was fine. Yeah, it didn't. No one had any complaints about the weed. You know? It was totally fine. And then these nerds came in and they fucked it up. You know. And they come in, oh, what's the terpene profile? Like, what? Fuck off, dude. Like, no one asked. Well, this one comes on like a sativa, but it's technically got an indica lineage. Like, did anyone ask for this? We were just like, hey, legalize it. And they're like, what's that? Commercialize it, commodify it, coming right up. No one asked for that, right? Like, no one once was like, you know, weed is cool, but what if it were more like toothpaste? Huh? That'd be a little better. Whitening weed, or you know, we were just like, hey, maybe we shouldn't have to go to jail, you know. And they're like, yeah, you're right. The packaging should be more professional. Like, no. I actually used to smoke a lot more weed before it was legal. Anyone else? It's crazy, right? My whole life I was like, legal. I really thought I was like this big pothead. It turns out I just like breaking the law, honestly. So I was like, no fun for me anymore. I switched to shoplifting. We'll see how that goes. You know, hopefully the nerds don't fuck that up too. You know they're trying. Even shoplifting has gotten weird. Have you guys been lately? It got weird. I was in CVS the other day. You know CVS, Consumer Value Stores? Yeah, I was... Oh, shit, you came to laugh. Turns out you fucking learn. That's what it stands for. I wikied it for you. You don't have to. But yeah, every time you go to a Consumer Value Store, they have... the thing that you're there to get, it's always behind the glass. Have you noticed it? It's not the most expensive things at the store. It's just specifically what you came for, right? I don't know how they know. They have a very impressive data mining operation, you know, but it's like this silly thing. You go in, you know, and then you see the thing, and you got to press the button. The guy comes over with the key, and he opens it, right, and he takes it out, and he hands it to you, and then you steal it, you know. And it's just like, I don't know why we are adding all these extra steps. It kind of seems it was a lot cheaper for me to steal it the old way, but you know, I guess that's. What's the takeaway from this set? I'm a thief. Okay, all right, good. I don't steal. It's only to feed my family. You know? Yeah, I've been going through some changes. I don't know if you guys probably stay the same forever, but I've been changing. Here's a change I made lately. I've been putting it off for a while, but I'm glad I went for it. I became middle-aged. Anyone else? It kind of rips. I put it off for a long time. And it's really like I thought it was like this scary thing. All it is, you just like wake up one morning, and your thirst for cocaine. It's weird. It's like it gets replaced with a fascination for interest rates, and that's basically. I mean, don't get me wrong. You still do cocaine. You know, you're not quite so thirsty for it anymore, and. You start to believe in yourself a little more. You're just like, you know what? I bet I can watch everything on Netflix, you know? I'm not sure like what age it starts at. I don't think it's like a number, you know, you can't, because it's different for different people. There's like more of an attitude. Like I think middle age starts the first time you Google when does middle age start. I think that's what it is, right? You type it in and Google's like, guess what? You know? Because it can't be the same forever. You know, it's like, Some people are born middle-aged. Like, I've got this son, he's 10 years old, or he's 6. It doesn't matter. That's not the point, you know. Point is he goes somewhere during the day and then he comes back. Okay? And that's the necessary exposition. I mean, he went wherever he goes, and then he comes back off the school bus, apparently, and he comes right up to me. He doesn't say hello or anything. The first thing he says to me, he goes, Austin Richards would not wear his seatbelt on the bus. Okay, that's a middle-aged dude, right? Like, school bus narc, for sure. Like, I'm just picturing him on the bus, like, getting so mad, just like, look at Olivia laughing at his daredevil. She should sit next to me. I played by the rules. You know, like, that's heavy middle-aged energy right there. And I should have known, because when he was first born, he had this condition called cradle cap. No, I won't stop. This is how the joke goes, dude. Cradle cap. Do you know what that is? Okay, so it's a condition. Yeah, let's burn this place to the fucking ground. Let's not do that. It literally would just take one match. So let's not do that. No, let me finish my thing. I'm taping a thing, you fucker. All right. We'll reduce this place to rubble at 10:35 p.m. Cradle cap. Anyone know what that is? So this is a condition. It's where you're born with a full head of hair, and then it all falls out. So I think that was his way of telling me, right? He's like, look, dude, I don't have my words, but you ought to know I'm 50. You know what I mean? Middle age is weird. I'm not old. I'm 44. So that's not old. It's not old. But it is old enough that I can say for sure that my life has not gone as I planned. I know that. Like, the experiment continues, but let's be honest, the data are in, you know. We can report some preliminary findings. You know, and that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, you know, it's whatever, because it's fine. Because life is not about following your plans, right? We make plans so that you have something to compare what actually happens against. That's the only reason for it, you know? You want to make plans because you want to be surprised by life. You know, if you don't make plans, you're not surprised. You're just like, oh, what's going on in the bowling alley or whatever, you know? But if you make plans, all of a sudden, your whole life, it's like you're alert, you're awake, you're aware. Everything pops into 3D. The colors are brighter. You're in awe the whole time, just looking around going, wow, this is not what I pictured, you know? They say man makes plans and God laughs. Yeah. So the way I look at it, my life's not falling apart, okay? I'm just getting a laugh from God. Am I about to lose my house? Or did I just get an applause break from the big guy? You know what I'm saying? What's going on here? You know, what's a matter of perspective? Nietzsche said God is dead. He didn't mention it's because I killed so fucking hard. You know, whatever. Anyway, that's, I have more, but that's all you get for tonight. Nice.
Give it up for Mike Lebovitz, everybody! We're going to keep this show rolling. You guys know what to do. Are you ready for your next comedian? You've seen him on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. He's so fucking funny. Everybody give it up right now for Django Gold!
Hello! That's my catchphrase. Is anyone else here drinking tonight? Yeah, having a tipple? You gotta drink. I once tried not drinking, and that was way worse. That whole dry January thing, oh, agony. 31 long days, 0 alcohol, just red wine and nitrous oxide. I don't know, a Jehovah's Witness? I'm kidding, I did it for real. An entire month without drinking. It was crazy to see the effect it had on me, a month of not drinking. You know, I was sleeping better, my mood was improved, you know, less prone to depression, less prone to anxiety, skin cleared up, lost a little bit of weight, saved a whole bunch of money, and really the only drawback I'd say is that life is not worth living. that was the only dust up we had there. Life just kind of became a series of gray, windowless rooms that I would scuttle back and forth betwixt. No variety, no joy, and also I wasn't as good at darts. You gotta drink. Here's a fun fact about alcohol for you guys. You're just gonna love this fun fact. Apparently, human beings like us, we have been drinking alcoholic beverages since 10,000 BC. Yeah, good for her. Good for the humans. And the reason why we know this, I guess these archaeologists, they dug up a bunch of old ceramic pots that contain significant residue of palm wine in them. And I think that just goes to show that even in 10,000 BC, when you went to the party, there was still some little bitch who couldn't finish his palm wine. We're allowed to be fucked up for this, right? Okay. You gotta drink. You gotta drink. You gotta medicate. You've seen the state the world's in these days, you know? This country's going to hell in an H basket, right? Every year brings some new horror. Clap it up for the horrors. We all know about the horrors. It's terrible, man. The Nazis are back. Oh, thank you for providing moral clarity. Phew. No, the Nazis are back. That's no good. The Nazis are back, which I guess means my grandfather wasn't some big hero after all. Sorry, Gramps, you get credit for defeating the Nazis, not temporarily delaying their progress. There's no statue at Normandy for all the brave soldiers who inconvenienced the Nazis. Terrible, though. It's terrible to see all these hate groups running rampant in our fine country, you know. You got your neo-Nazis and your white supremacists, your Ku Klux Klan. It's an awful, ugly thing. That being said, I do think we should acknowledge how difficult it is to make friends as an adult. Part of the problem, in my opinion, is too much technology these days, right? It's like everywhere you go, it's always tech, this, and knowledge-y, that. You know? It's absurd. You got all these bells and whistles that no one even asked for, you know? Like, for example, my mother, she recently purchased a brand new car. It has all these gadgets and gizmos that no one wants, you know? Like, I'm getting my mom's car for the very first time. I'm backing out of the driveway, and automatically, without me doing anything, mind you, automatically, a little TV screen pops on, and it plays a video of a kid on a skateboard getting run over. Was it Star Trek? You know, like... See what else is in the news. I'm single, ladies. And middle school, an old leather boxing glove. I'm single. It stinks. It's terrible. Don't believe what those Kathy comic strips have to tell you. Being single's awful. No silver lining. Yeah, go to the movies by yourself. Which means you gotta walk up to the box office and say the saddest sentence that's ever been uttered in the English language. One ticket for Ant-Man, please. and your smallest conceivable popcorn. And you gotta sit by yourself in the back of a dark theater like some kind of pervert. Like, oh, don't mind me. I'm just waiting for Timothée Chalamet to get on screen. He's 60 pounds of pure talent. Which, by the way, now that you guys brought it up, what's with that guy? I gotta get to the point in our society or whatever where our A-list Hollywood stud is like this weird forest elf. It's like he travels around by grabbing onto a dandelion stem. I don't want to date myself too much here, people. But back in my day, our hunk du jour was a fellow by the name of Brad Pitt. Yeah. He had normal adult dimensions. He slept in a bed. Shoebox with a marshmallow for a pillow. I digress. I'm single. It's the point of this yarn, you know. It's hard to attract ladies when you're not cool, you know. That's my problem. I've never been cool. I'm a damn nerd. Being a nerd stinks. The only advantage of being a nerd is every so often they'll pick two of us and we get to go to the moon. That's like our little lottery system we got set up. You two strap on your spacesuits. The rest of you resume attending live podcast tapings. Didn't really pop as much as I was hoping. Luckily, the magic of editing, I think, will probably save my little butt. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna try a new joke. This is a ballsy move. It's something that's being recorded for posterity's sake. You guys ever go to those bars that have like ice in the urinals? Fellas? I mean, I like a cold drink as much as the next guy, but it worked! What a cunning gambit. Thanks a lot, everyone.
One more time for Django Gold, everybody! Guys, I got some news for you. We got one comedian left. So here's what I need from you. I'm going to ask you the same question I've been asking all night. And this time, I need you to give me everything you got left, okay? Are you guys ready for your final comedian? Oh my God, he's so fucking funny. We love him so much. You're gonna love him. Everybody give it up for my friend David Dre!
All right, get out. Overstayed. I am a father who probably shouldn't be. I have a 3-year-old daughter. I had arguably the worst moment of my life spending time with her. I got food poisoning in public because she just touched all my food with her like gross toddler hands, and then I ate it because it's my food. And then I was out, and I had crippling stomach pains, and so I had to go into a public restroom, and then I just put her in the corner of the stall, and she just had to scream and watch. Awful moment. She's screaming, trying desperately to escape. She's trying, and I'm just holding on to her on a toilet. I'm like, you can't go. You must stay. Creating a core memory in her life. She's like finding out about betrayal. Humiliating. Awful too, because I've been hiding my dick from my child for 3 years now. I believe it's every father's responsibility to hide your dick from your child. Thank you. You think it'd be easy, but for some reason, every father has failed at this one thing. I think you should hide it. But a lot of parents fight me on that. They're like very chill about nudity. They're like, whatever, man, it's my kid, I made it. Who cares? It's like, all right, here's my deal. I saw my dad's dick, and I am unhappy. I wish I didn't see it. And for whatever reason, the way brains work, I can remember it better than I remember my first kiss. I don't want my daughter to see it. And my wife fights. She thinks I'm insane. She's like, why do you shower with our daughter and you're wearing a bathing suit? I'm like, why are you arguing with me? Well, you want her to see it? What's your game here? Do you want to remember the kiss or not? Me and my wife just went on our first date in a little while. It's not even... It's like role-playing a date when we got... It's not a real date. Like, it looks like a date. Like, if you saw me and my wife on a date, you'd be like, oh, yeah, there's food and everything. They're, like, talking to each other. It's not an actual... Like, you only date people that you don't actually know. Because then you can ask them questions like, what do you do? Like, you don't know what they do. Where do you go? What is everything else outside of this? You have no idea. I know everything about my wife. So I'm like on a date and my questions are all like, how's your chair? She need a new chair. This is literally the only thing I don't know about you. Do you want a new chair? When I'm on a date, I have to I pray for something to happen in the restaurant so we can talk about it. That's like how I speak on a date. I wait. Yeah. I always pray for a waiter to fuck up and drop a tray just so I can turn to her and be like, oh, can you believe the waiter? If you're a waiter, and I'm assuming most of you are, and you're ever waiting on a married couple, do something insane. You're helping just bring out their food and then just take a big bite of it. It's not gonna feel good in the moment, but they're gonna be banging in the car after that, just that waiter was awful. They're gonna talk about that for a month. Do something crazy. You're helping the family. If you're a waiter and you just do your job, you've destroyed a loving home. A daughter can't see dada because you couldn't just drop the soup. The worst part about going out on a date is I always have to drive this teenage babysitter home. She just it's a really awful moment because I've had a few and then I gotta drive whatever. I cut that out. Don't include that in the... I didn't have any. There's nothing to talk about with I have nothing in common with a teenage girl. And then there's also this underlying vibe that all older men are predators. And you have to alleviate that. And I always do. I'm like, hey, just I find you extremely unattractive. You're to me a sheep or a chair. There's nothing for me here. You're a lamp. Hopefully that makes you feel more comfortable. And the rest of this drive home. Yeah. I was driving this girl home, and then there was this like awful lull in conversation, and then I like freaked out, and then I accidentally revealed that I'm kind of worried about money. Oh my God. Humiliate. Poor girl. She's trying desperately to like make small talk. She's like, "How was dinner?" I was like, "It was expensive." I don't know what I'm gonna do. She's like, "Have you tried babysitting?" I'm like, "Oh." So, tell me more. My wife is furious at me because we have this child and I have no money. You can kind of see where she's coming from. She's not wrong. She's always saying the same thing to me all the time. She's always like, "David, why didn't you plan for the future? Why didn't you plan for the future, Dave?" That's like her favorite thing. Why didn't you plan for the future? It's like, plan for the future? What? Plan this future? How do you plan for this future? Like, all right, in 2019, my cat's Instagram account got picked up by Meow Mix, and that's the most money I've made in my entire life. How do you plan for that? The cat taking over the family finances? Awful moment where the cat made, like, overnight, the cat making so much more money than me. A cat should not support a family. I'm gonna say it again because I see some of your eyes like, "Oh, maybe your cat should," but no, a cat should not. Your wife does not respect you when the cat supports. It's fine to bend over and feed your pet cat, but it's awful to bend over and feed the head of the household. Oh, eat your money. How do you plan for that? They didn't mention this job at like high school career day. Just like, "Hey man, maybe you could get into like business or just invest in a really hot cat." You see, in the future, you can monetize your hot cat on your phone. Confused? All right, I'll try to explain it. In the future, there's this thing called TikTok. It's like a teenage porn app designed by the Chinese to get people to dance. And you can upload videos of your hot cat on there, and then if enough people like it, then they'll ask brands like Oreos if they can throw up an advertisement before your cat. And then you can get a cut of Oreos. All right, still a little confused. All right, I understand. You do this on the phone, I understand. In the future, phones are not phones. Like, you can still call people, but no one's going to do that. You do so much other stuff. Like, you can press a button, and a guy will just show up at your house, and then you just get into his car, and then he'll take you to the zoo. And there's people having sex on there, and you can watch that on the bus, and no one will stop you. And of course, you can get a cut of Oreo with your hot cat. So plan for that future. I think about that. Whenever my wife says it, I like, plan for the future. It's like, well, hey, you're here too. Why didn't you plan for the future? We're both in this shitty apartment in New Jersey. Why didn't you plan? Like, my wife, all she wants is a house, and she married a mover who dreams of one day making $20K a year as a comedian. Sick plan, dumbass. At least I had the foresight to marry someone with a job. What's your deal? My wife has a lot to say about that joke, but what's awesome is you'll never hear any of it. She didn't put in the work like Daddy. She didn't hit the mics, so her thoughts die in the house. Yum, yum, yum. Hey, thank you guys for coming out tonight. It's been a fun show. Thanks for coming out tonight. This has been a fun show.
For all the comedians you saw tonight, huh? This is Crack Comedy Club. Follow them. My name is Lizzy Cassidy. Enjoy the rest of your night. Goodbye.